this trending line. This is no joke. This niche is about to explode. And there is still time for you to capitalize on this niche. Let's zoom out a bit so we can see what this niche is. Drumroll. Mother's Day. And before the keyboard warriors start ferociously typing in the comments saying it's not Mother's Day for quite a few months. Well, yes, you would be right, but that is in the US. Here in the UK, Mother's Day is March the 19th. And even on our little island, Mother's Day is still quite a big day. There are tons of searches around this day and tons of sales. So let's go over the 5 phases I follow to make a successful design specifically with Mother's Day in mind. I also want to say a quick thank you to Kittle for sponsoring this video. Phase 1, niche validation. Usually I'd validate a niche in various ways. I'd look at the search volume, the current best performing designs, and even the Google Trends data. So, starting with the Google Keyword Planner tool, let's see how much traffic this niche is actually getting. We can see that the search term Mother's Day is getting 100,000 to 1 million searches every single month. That's no small number. And on top of that, Mother's Day gifts, Mother's Day 2022, and Mother's Day are all getting 100,000 to 1 million searches per month. And this is just targeting the UK. Next, I'd like to go to the keyword research tool in Pretty Merch to get a better understanding of the niche as a whole and what other words relate and can be used. Then the Google Trends tool to find out which areas are the biggest and if there are any good related queries, which we can see here. Finally, to end phase 1, I'll look at some of the other designs and see what's working. I'll do this on Etsy, Amazon, Redbubble, and Google. Now let's move on to phase 2, product and design. We need to pick the right product to match the niche. So in this case, jewelry would be an excellent product for this specific niche. Mugs would be good too, and of course the classic t-shirt. That's always a good one, and you can always rely on t-shirts for some consistent and solid sales. Now I would brainstorm different design ideas, funny sayings, puns, and niches I can pair with. Usually I'd start by sitting and just thinking. I try to write down as many original ideas as I can. Then I'll venture into the world of Google. And finally, I'll use websites like Etsy, eBay, and Pretty Merch. So I have at least 30 to 50 solid ideas. Then on to phase 3, designing. I would use various tools for different elements of the design. Usually though, I would just start with a pen and paper, and then I would eventually end with using Kittle. This is because Kittle's designer is pretty well-rounded and it can kind of tick nearly every box. I mainly use it for the vast array of text manipulation it has, but you could create the entire design on there as well. So let's do that. I'm gonna pick from the 50 design ideas that I had, go over to Kittle and create a fully finished design. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually put the text in. So let's just put in a paragraph that says, I'm a proud mum of 2 daughters. Remember, if you're targeting the UK here, this is M-U-M, not M-O-M. And if you want your designs to also be okay for the USA, then I would just recommend creating them again with the right spelling for mum. So I'm a proud mum of 2 daughters. We're just going to put this in the top corner just so we have it. And now we're going to actually go and create the design. So let's start with I'm a proud. And now let's just mess around with this title a bit. So first, let's change the font. There's so many fonts that we could use. I actually like Adventure 06, which is why it's at the top for me. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add a wave. I'm going to make this wave a bit more pronounced because why not? Let's bring it down a bit. Let's bring that up a bit. And now let's make the whole thing a little bit bigger. Actually, let's make it a bit smaller. Now we've got I'm proud. We're going to do copy and paste, and we're going to put mum in. Now we're going to do a different font for mum because, well, it's the main word. We want it to stand out. We want it to look cool. And I actually like that one. So we're going to go here. We're going to make mum nice and big. Now we're going to add, but now we've got the overall design done. There's a couple of things we want to add here. We want to add some interest with colors and some graphics, and we want to make the text a bit more interesting and detailed. And then, of course, like I said, we want to add graphics, and potentially we want to add a sub-niche to this. So rather than just targeting mums who have, I spelled two wrong. Let's fix that. Rather than targeting a mum that has two awesome daughters, let's add another layer on top of that. Maybe they like coffee. Maybe they like dogs or cats or whatever. So we're going to layer the different targeting. So first, let's just go in and edit the text, starting with the color. So let's go and pick a different color. What about that one? Okay, I'm a proud mum. Yeah, that's perfect. Now let's go in and go to this A+ effects. We can add a drop shadow, and we're going to add these kind of lines, these oblique lines. We're going to change the color of this as well to like that kind of color. So we're going to keep it very thin, so it's more like that. I like that. That's cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just do that on all of them. Now we're pretty much done with that text. Let's actually change the color of mum. So I want to go for kind of like a dark purpley color. So what does that look like? Yeah, that's quite cool. Right, now that we have that, it's time to kind of put in some graphical elements. So we can go over here on the left-hand side, and we can search for whatever we want. So if we want to link this with coffee, we can just drop a cute little coffee mug into it. I mean, why not? Let's make this the right size. Let's change the color of this as well to match. Oh, this is going to be cool. This is going to be cool. And bear in mind, it's been, well, how long has it been? It's been 4 minutes since I started this design. You can see how quick and easy using something like Kittl is. I feel like it was genuinely made for designers. Now, the next thing we can do is we can add some illustrations to make it a bit more interesting, a bit more than just a coffee mug. So let's go to ornaments. Let's go to spot elements, and we can just add stuff like this. Right, so if I like twist this around, how does that look? That looks pretty cool. Now we can find something else for, down here. Okay, so let's have a look at other potential things. So you've got abstract and illustration. So abstract is quite cool. We can just have a look at all of them. We can do grunge, brush effects. Oh, that's quite clever. So we could actually do something like this if we wanted. Now it's a different kind of theme, this going for this kind of look. But now what we can do is we can actually put this behind. So we go to layers, and we'll put this behind the word daughters. Oh, I like that. That's cool. I actually prefer that. So I'm going to delete this one because I actually prefer that kind of look. It still kind of works with the top one, but I like that. That's cool. So we can do another one. This is a really cool design. I mean, bear in mind, it's only been like 5 minutes. And if I spent half an hour on this, I could probably make something a lot more intricate, a lot better. But I'm happy with this. I mean, there's still so many more elements that we could use. There's so many more fonts and text and graphics, and there's just so much more that you can do with Kittl that I haven't shown. So if this is something you want to do, if you want to create designs really quickly, then 100% go and click that link down below in the description and try out Kittl. It's really flipping awesome. And what I'll probably end up doing is going through my list of 20 to 50 designs and actually creating a whole bunch of them. Because if I'm only spending 10 minutes or 15 minutes per design, I can create a lot of them. Now we're on to phase 4. Which platforms to sell on? As Mother's Day in the UK is less than a month away, we want to use platforms that have fast shipping. That would be platforms like Amazon, or maybe using Etsy via Printful or Gelato. Gelato have faster shipping, but Printful shipping is okay if you've got a month to play with. You could also use eBay. Now, all of these platforms that I have mentioned come with their own traffic. Etsy, eBay, Amazon. You don't have to worry about sending traffic yourself to get sales. Now, I know I've left out quite a few platforms, and I'm still actually running tests and have videos coming out in the near future where I go over platforms and see which all-in-one platform, where they do the shipping and they do the printing, and they have a marketplace, everything. Which one is best? Once uploading to all the various platforms, we can now move on to phase 5. Marketing, mock-ups, and wording. I wanted to come up with another M word for wording, but I couldn't think of it, so we're just going to go with that as the title. So now that our designs are fully uploaded, let's go and find some mock-ups. I use Placeit and I pay for that, but they do have some free options for you if that's what you want to do. I would use these mock-ups on different social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Pinterest. I would also share these mock-ups with people I think would be interested in these designs. And potentially I would share some of these mock-ups and some of my products on Facebook groups that are relevant. So maybe a mother's Facebook group would be highly relevant for Mother's Day. And if you're thinking, well, mothers don't buy their own t-shirts or presents, so what's the point of posting on a Mother's Day Facebook group? But you'll be surprised. They will actually tag their husbands or their children. They'll make sure that someone knows to buy them that product if they want it. That's the exact experience I had with my Father's Day t-shirt. I actually targeted dads. And everyone was like, this is stupid. That's not going to work. No dad is buying their own gift. But every single tag, every single comment in that post was tagging the wives. And I ended up selling over $20,000 worth of products in less than 2 weeks around Father's Day. So I'm telling you, this does really work. With a day like Mother's Day, because it's so popular and you can target so well, I'd actually seriously consider running ads targeting mothers or women who have children who are married, because you can get so targeted. You can add sub interest like dogs and coffee and cats and traveling and all these various things, and you can create really clickable and high performing ads if you wanted to. Then when it comes to writing the description, the title, and sometimes the tags on specific print on demand platforms, I would use a tool like the Google keyword tool like we used earlier to come up with a whole list of keywords. And then I'd also use the Pretty Merch keyword tool to, again, see what keywords we should be using to get some ideas for titles, for tags, and so we can write a really good, sellable description that really convinces people to buy your product. Those would be my 5 phases. So if you haven't already started designing for Mother's Day, now is the time. And if you feel like it's too late or you're watching this video too late, you should still design, because Mother's Day in the US is May the 14th. So if you can get designs up now, you could be first to the market when it comes to Mother's Day in America. And that is a very big day where a lot of sales are to be had. Now, if you want to take your designs even further and delve into the world of marketing and really figure out how to sell and how to make money with your designs, you've got to check this video out next, where I go over a whole social strategy on how you can create a design and actually market it in so many cool ways and actually get some serious sales. So check that video out now.